Hi, all. In this session, we are going to see Docker Container Lab session. In that, I'm going to create one EC2 instance in AWS. On top of it, operating system, Linux operating system, I'm going to install. Then I'll pull Nginx image from Docker Hub registry. Then we'll create a container and we'll run a container and expose port number, port 80 or 8080 for web service. Then we will try to access that web service from my browser. After that, we will log in into the container and we edit the configuration file, that is web server's configuration file, HTML file we'll edit, and we'll do some changes inside the inside the configuration file. Then we will see whether the changes are reflecting on my browser or not. Okay. So I'm using AWS. If you want, you can use whatever this one you want, Azure or Google Cloud, whatever you want. Just I'm going to install one EC2 instance. On top of that EC2 instance, I'm going to install Docker. Okay. So the pipeline. It's 3685. Okay, so this is what my is the AWS. Okay, AWS console I logged in. I'm currently on Mumbai location. So whenever you are creating any EC2 instance, please make sure that you are creating on which region. That is very much important. Why? Because if you create anything here, after that, if you go and search in North Virginia, it will say that there is no current EC2 instance are running. So what you will do, you will just log off and let go. And the background, the EC2 instance will be running on mobile location, so it will be charged. Okay, so that is why. But when you're creating newly, then you will have some this one. You will have some free account or free mm, um, some this one leverage they are giving. So based on that, you can create and you can use it. Okay. Okay, so this I'm going to create one EC2 instance. If you want to create EC2 instance, just click here. Currently, there is no EC2 instance running. You can go and launch EC2 instance. Okay, so here I'm giving some name. So just I'll give Linux OS for Docker. Okay, we can give whatever name. That is no problem. Here we have these many operating systems we have. So Amazon Linux we have, Mac OS we have, Ubuntu, Windows, everything we have. Even though your SUSE Linux also it is there. Okay. So Debian we have. Whatever you want, you can create it. I'll take Amazon Linux, or if you want, you can go with the SUSE Linux as well. So here kernel is normal. You know that because your OS background. So I go with the default kernel. I don't want any advanced kernel as of now. So I'll go with free tier. So you can for testing purpose you can go with the free tier eligible, which means for this one they will not charge for me. Okay, free tier I have, but what I will do, it should be quite a bit speed because I'm giving a class, correct. So that is why I'm going with 2 GB and 4 GB memory and 2 CPU. I'll go. Okay. Then here you have the key pair. So key pair is nothing but whenever you are accessing, if you want to access this EC2 instance via putty, then this key pair should be there. It will act as a authentication mechanism, correct. If you don't have, then you can just create it. And if you want to access from putty, then you have to select ppk, and here you have to give the key pair name. Okay, you can give whatever name you want. Okay, any name, but you should remember this name. Okay, I'll give something like Linux. Okay, Linux OS, something like Linux OS Docker, something like that. .ppk file. Okay, so I create key pair. Okay, the key pair is stored here. It is in the download. Okay, no problem. I'll go here. Network session VPC already. It will be. It has one default VPC. Subnet no preference. I'm not doing anything here. I'll go with the defaults. And firewall security group, you can create it, correct? Security group. What is firewall normally? Firewall will help you who to whom I can allow, who I should not allow. Okay, especially it will work on port level. Okay, even though if anyone have the access to your server, because it will provide public IP, correct? Public IP means around the world anyone can access my EC2 instance, correct? So when they are coming, anyone coming from outside, whether you want them to allow or not, that is what you are going to decide in firewall. You are going to decide in firewall. But in your organization, you don't worry about all those things. This will be taken care by cloud team. Separate team will be there. Cloud team will be taking care. But you should know what are the things we have here. Okay. So what I'll do, I'll go with existing security group. I'll go with the default security group. Okay. And in the default security group also, you have to allow all the traffic. I'll show you how to allow all the traffic. But here, storage. So in the storage, 8 GB memory is there, 8 GB is there. I'll do one thing. I'll just take 8 GB is enough, because today just we are going to download one image. We have to store, correct? To store image, it will not take much. This one, max to max 8 GB is enough. Okay. Now I'll go and launch. The moment when I launch, my instance will be get ready. If you click on instances here and refresh, see my instance got ready. If you see here, we have the VPC and we have the subnet ID also created, and there is no IAM role because I don't have IAM. I logged in as a root user. Okay. Whenever you log in as a root user, be careful. You should not share your password with anyone. Otherwise, if you compromise with your password, no, that's it. Your account will be hacked, and they will run multiple machines, especially GPU nodes and all nowadays came. If they run, then you will get big soup, because you will get a high billing if you compromise your password. So don't compromise your password. Don't share your password anywhere, even though if you are taking any chat GPT or something like that. Okay, it assign one public IP address for me. Okay, it's assign one public IP. By using this public IP, I can access from anywhere. But blindly you cannot access. First, you have to provide the access. See, go to here in the security. In the security, you have the security group. This is what we selected, default security group, correct? So what you should do, you have to open that security group. Here you have the edit inbound outbound rules. So inside that inbound outbound rules, this is what I given already. I have set up in this account. So you have to add a rule that you are allowing all the traffic, and that traffic you are allowing all the traffic from outside. Okay. And 0.0.0.0/0, which means from any device or from any IP address, they can hit here. You are allowing whom you are allowing, which protocol you are allowing. You are allowing all the protocol, all the range. I know this is bit unsecure, but for testing purpose, we don't want to get inside the firewall rules, all those things and all. Okay, if they want, you can use the custom IP, or you can use your particular subnet. Everything you could use it here. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to allow all the traffic, which means anyone from the world can come and speak with my EC2 instance. That is the meaning of it. Okay. If you don't have this rule, you just add this rule. You can add this rule as well, so that you will your security group will work. You can access your EC2 instance. Now I have EC2 instance. I got public IP address as well. So how can I access this EC2 instance? By using putty. I just open putty. So I'll paste my public IP address here. And normally, when you are connecting with your Linux operating system, what you will do, you just open, or here you will not give public IP address. Where there will be DNS mechanism will be there. So you are going to access any server by using name, not by using public IP address. But here we have not enabled any DNS, so that is why I'm directly accessing via public IP address. And after that, what you will do, you will click on open. After that, it will ask username and password, everything correct. But here we don't have any username password, so that is why we have the key pair file. We have that key pair file you have to attach here, and under the SSH you have to click on auth, you expand auth, then credentials. In this credential, you have to add your key pair value. You have to select your key pair value. See, Linux OS Docker. This is what .ppk file we created, correct? So you have to select this and click on open. The moment when you click open, automatically this authentication will happen. Okay, then it will accept you by by default. EC2-user, this is what the user which is provided by Amazon Linux operating system. So you can log in by using this this user. So you download the key pair value you created, correct? That actually the password you have set, or the password, or the user which is allowing for this user only. EC2-user. You cannot directly log in from root user. Okay. So you have logged in from EC2 user. From this EC2 user, what you can do, you can jump into root. Okay. So you add sudo in front of it. So you will jump into root user. No problem. Okay. Okay. Now what we will do, we will install my operating system. We will install Docker. Okay. So Docker. Sorry. How can we install yum or DNF, whatever you want, you can use. Yum install Docker. So it will go into your repository and it is checking. It is telling that yes, we have to install Docker. These are the dependencies. That is the advantage of VM, correct? So here you have container, AC Linux, container D. So all these things are the dependencies to create a Docker. Okay. So now I just say, okay, please install Docker. See, in Linux operating system, some application, what happen whenever they write any, whenever you download any application, automatically service will be start and it will be enabled for permanent. But some services, it will not start automatically. We have to start it as well as we have to enable it. Okay. Now, after install the Docker, I'm going and checking. The moment when I install Docker, this host become Docker host or container host. Okay. Previously, it was normal Linux server. Now, this is containerized host or Docker host. Okay. Now, systemctl status Docker. So, Docker dot services. This is what the service name. Okay. You could just go and check from Docker also. See, by default, what happened? This is inactive state, and here it is disabled. Okay. Disabled means for next boot or next reboot, what happened? If it is disabled, even though if you start your service, the service will be disabled state only during the booting time. Okay. So first what I will do, I'll start Docker container. See here, not Docker container, Docker container engine. Okay, that is the correct term. So Docker container engine I started. So it is activated. Still it is disabled, which means next reboot, it will become the same state, like dead state. Okay, you have to command, you have to start manually. To avoid that, what you can do, you can enable it. Okay, the moment when you enable, then backend some link will happen, soft link. Okay, then it will become a enabled. Okay, now I have started my Docker engine. Okay, so if you see here, so this is what infrastructure we used. AWS infrastructure, correct? Same, like instead of AWS infrastructure, you could use your own virtual machine which is created on your data center, or you could use Azure infrastructure, or you could use GCP infrastructure. That is why I mentioned here infrastructure. So this infrastructure will provide me the hardware, So on top of that hardware, we install EC2 instance, that is Linux operating system we install. On top of this Linux operating system, we install the Docker engine. Okay, what we install? We install the Docker engine. Now, the command whatever you are starting with Docker, the moment when you are running, your operating system come to know that okay, this guy want to speak with this service. Which service? This Docker service. Like that, your operating system come to know that. Okay, so now we have a Docker here. The moment when you are typing Docker Docker command, it will backend. It comes to know that okay, he want to speak with Docker daemon. So now Docker images. Just I'm typing Docker images. See here, repository tag image ID created site. Every title we have, but we don't have any images as of now. I'll pull one image. So Docker pull one image I'll pull. When I okay, Nginx, one image I'll pull. The moment when I type Docker pull image, what happen? This will go and speak with your Docker service, correct? That is Docker container, okay? Or Docker container engine. See here, this is nothing but Docker application container engine. Still, we have not installed the container, okay? We have installed just engine, okay? So it will go and speak with engine. If I explain you here in the architecture, I'm running Docker pull Nginx. So the moment when I'm done Docker pull Nginx, it will go via Docker daemon, that is your service, Docker service, and it will go and check whether it is available locally or not. If it is not available, then it will directly go and download from the registry. Which registry means Docker Hub registry. By default, it will go to the Docker Hub registry only. Okay. If you don't want to, if you have your own registry, then you have to give the name called your own registry name slash. Then you have to give the image name. Then you can give the version whatever you want. Okay. If you don't give anything in front, then what it will do, if you don't have any registry, what it will do, it will directly go and it will take from your Docker Hub only. Okay. So let me explain, first open and show you how Docker Hub will be look like. See Docker Hub. So for Docker Hub also you can use your credential, Google credential or whatever you want. Okay, I have my own credential here. So this is what the Docker Hub. Okay, if I click here, then actually this is my repository. Okay, say for example I'm going so I told no, three types of images will be there. One is Docker official and verified publisher, sponsored OSS. Okay, so we have different types of images. This is hardened image. Okay, because I logged in with my account now, so I'll go with the Docker official image. If I select Docker official image, I have multiple images. See here, I have Nginx. Okay, I have Alpine, Redis, like that. Many BusyBox, like many images we have. So like you can search whatever you want. You can search it. Say for example, you want to install any database. For example, MongoDB. MongoDB. You can come and you can check whether you have the image called MongoDB or not. See here, Docker Hub slash MongoDB. You have. If you want anything else, then you can come and you can search it. For us, we need Nginx, Nginx. Okay. The moment when I install Nginx, then it is giving me, so this batch is official image. Okay, if I click on this, then it will take you here and you have tags here. Okay, so here each and every tags contain its one type of image. Say for example you have a Linux operating system, correct? CentOS only we will take. I'm taking CentOS operating system. I do some modification. After that, I'll convert that CentOS as a image. Then, while converting, I'm giving tagging my name. Okay, like that you can give whatever tag you want. But if you don't want any tag, if you just give Docker pull Nginx, what happen? No, it will not add any tag. By default, it will go with the latest. Correct. If you search here with the latest tag, This is what it will be download 4 days before someone this is they have updated, and this is what docker pull nginx colon latest. If you don't give anything, automatically it will consider that as a latest only. Or else if you want particular version, if you want particular this one, then you can go ahead and you can give your version name. So this is what the version name. If you want to download this, then you have to give docker pull nginx table. But always you have to go with the official images instead anyone created image. Okay, so the moment when I mentioned docker pull docker, okay, docker, the moment when I run docker pull nginx, what it will do, it will go and check locally whether the images is available or not. If it is not available, then it will go and try to download from docker hub. I just enter. Okay, what it is telling, using default. See here it is telling, because I have just given docker this one, correct, docker nginx, correct. So it will use tag called latest, then it will download pulling the image. Okay, and first time it will pull the image and it will store in local. Okay, finally it is giving the status, this is downloaded. Now I'll go and run the same command, docker images. Now if you see, the my latest images has been downloaded. Tag is very much important here, because with tag only your in your organization, you they will have version 1, version 2, something like that. Okay, or else sometime they this tag they will use with the date, because so that they can come to know which one is latest one. Okay, so here if you see, this is what my in image name, image tag, image id, and when it is created 4 days before. Created means when it is created on hub. Okay, when it is published, then what is the size? 161 MB size is there. See, consider that you don't have containerization. Then what will happen? No, you have to first install Linux operating system. On top of Linux operating system, you have to install Nginx service. Correct? For that, how much GB it will take? It will take 4 GB. 4 GB for Linux operating system, some 100, some MB for Nginx. So totally 4 GB, 100 MB, something like that. But here, totally this Nginx has 161 MB only. This Nginx image will created on base image. Okay, inside the image, base OS will be there. But that base OS will be very minimal binaries and libraries, which help to start Nginx service alone. Okay, that is the advantage of image. Okay, now what I did, I pulled the image available locally. I have to start a container, create a container, not start a container. So docker create hyphen name. I could give the container name. I am giving just a Saravanan. Okay, then from which image I'm going to create, I'm going to create from image called Nginx. Nginx. Here also, if you have any tag, you have to give the tag name. Okay. Or if you don't give anything, by default, it will take letters. Say, for example, here, if you have V1, then you have to definitely have to give that V1. Okay. But here we have latest. So I'll give latest. Or else, if you don't give latest, automatically it will take. Okay. So let me check Docker. So what happened? See, image container has been created. This container created from where? It is created from this image. Okay. Now Docker image. If you want to see any container, then you have to see ps-a. If you give ps-a, it will give all the containers. See here, this container. Whenever you create any container, the container has its own container ID. Like how you have image ID, like that you have container ID. And image also it is taking. This is what the image with latest tag and command. This command leave about it as of now. Then it is created 16 seconds ago. What is the status? It is just created. It is not running. And what is the name of your container? Your container name is Saravanan. Image name is Nginx. Container name is Saravanan. You should not get confused here. Image name is Nginx and your the container name is Saravanan. Okay. So we have created a container, and if you run ps, no, ps will not give anything. What is the difference between ps-a and ps? ps-a will give all the containers, whether it is stopped state, created state, whatever it is. But ps-a will give all the container information irrespective of the status. But ps command will give only running containers only it will give. Okay. As of now, I have downloaded image, I created a container, but I have not started the container. How can we start the container? So Docker start, then you have to give the container name. What is the container name? Container ID is what the container ID. Okay. See, container also started. Now I give PS. See here, my container also created. So when it is created, when it is sorry, my container also started. So created 16 seconds ago. That is means later. The but here if you see, it is started 3 seconds ago. Port number 80 by default it is taking. What is my container name? Container name is same. So here three things I did, four things I did. First I pull the image, then I create a container from that image, then I start the container from that image. Correct? Okay. Now I have a container. Now I want to access this container. How can I access this container? So just you go there and you take your public IP address, take public IP address and take your browser, just type this and port number 80, correct? That is what it is exposing. On port number 80 only it is exposing, correct? Number 80 it is exposing. Tuk, 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 tuk. Okay, it is not coming, it should come. Okay, actually we created this port number 80 is locally. If you take any local host, let me check this, local host colon 80, local host call. Okay, it is fail connection. Why? Because this is running on port number 80. Container is running port number 80, but we have not exposed. Exposed in the sense we have to expose to the outside the world. Okay, so that we have not done here. That is why it is not running. So whenever you are starting, you have to start with exposed port number. Okay, hyphen p something you have to add port number 8080 colon 80 something like that. Okay, when you expose, then it will start exposing. Okay, now what I will do, so instead of running three commands, pull image, create container, run the container. Instead of running these three commands, we have one more command called run. Okay, if you see here, run hyphen d. This one, this one. If you see, we have run hyphen d command. See, this is what we need to give. Whenever you are creating container, create hyphen name. After that, port number you have to. I missed that port number. Okay. So if you want, I'll delete this container. How can we delete the container? By using Docker delete. Then we can give the container name. Docker delete name, Docker rm. Okay. Cannot remove. Currently it is running. Okay. So running container you cannot directly go and go and delete. So what you have to do, you have to stop it. Stop the container, then only you can delete it. Okay, you have deleted. Now if I go and see docker ps, nothing is there. Docker ps -a, nothing is there because container is not there. Docker images is there. Now what I will do, I'll go and create a container from there. What is the command? Whatever I use, that last same command I'm going to use, but here I'm going to expose it. Okay, hyphen p 8080 my local port. Okay, and this port should go on. This port is my here outside the port, but inside the container port number 80. You can give 80 colon 80 also, but just for example, I'll give 8080. This is my external port, that is From this port only I need to communicate. So the moment whenever any communication coming, any link, any input coming for this 8080, automatically it will convert that input into containers port number. I'll just run it, create it now. So now also my container created. Okay. PS-A if you give container created, if you give PS, it will not show because it is not in the running state. So now I'll go and run it. Docker start container name, correct? So now if I give PS, my container is running. See port number 8080, it is exports. Now I'll use the same IP. Instead of 80, I'll give 8080. See, whatever you are seeing here, this is the this output is coming from the container. I'm able to speak with my container from my browser. This port, if you want, you can just try to access from your laptop also. You will get the same response. Why? Because this is public IP, and I have allowed any traffic inside my default this one group. Correct. So if you hit this, you can able to access. Could you please check whether you are able to access my container or not? Hello, are you there?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
there. Yeah, yeah, I'm
Okay.
there. Yeah.
Could
You
you
want me to
please
access?
hit? You are able to access, correct? So this is why we are using public IP. Based on that public IP, we could use it. Okay. If you don't allow every traffic in your default group, definitely what happen, you will not access this. Whenever you have any issues here, then you should remember, okay, I have not allowed this on the traffic. Okay. So what happened now? We have created our container. We started our container. Okay. So three commands we have used here. One is full command. Initially, full command will download the images, and second create command, and third one is start command. So we have another command that is docker run. Docker run. So this docker run command is equivalent to full, create, and start. So all these three things will done by one single command. That is what docker run. That is the power of docker run. So whenever you are running any docker run command, what it will do? You can create a directly. You can create a container by using docker run command. Okay. What it will do? First, it will go and check whether image is available or not. If it is image not available, then it will pull it. Then it will go and check. Then it will automatically create a container, and it will automatically start the container. You no need these three different types of command here. I'll give you one example. We'll delete everything now. Docker docker stop. First, we have to stop it. Right? Stop the container. Then I'll remove the container. Docker rm. Then I want to remove the images as well, because you are just you removed the container, correct? Images will be there in the locally. So what I will do, I'll just go and remove the image as well. How can we remove? For that RMI you have to give the image ID, you have to give it. So what happened? Image also removed, correct? Now if you see, I don't have any container, I don't have any images. Okay, everything fresh. Nothing is there. Okay, now I'll run this command. Run, sorry, docker docker run. Hyphen d is nothing but I'm going to create my container or run my container backend. That is what the meaning of hyphen d. And hyphen name, I'm giving some name, my app, something like that. I'll give, this is container name. Then I want to expose port number 8080 colon 80. Then what is, from where this container, this is container name, from where this container should create? The container should create from Nginx. Okay. If you want, you can give latest, or else if you don't give, it will by default it will take a latest only. Okay. So now what happened? What happened? this command will go and check whether images is there or not. Image is not there. What it will do, it will try to download the image from the Docker Hub. Second, it will create a container, then it will start the container as well. How we will see. So what happened, it is taken Nginx image, okay, latest it is downloading, okay, pulling the image, one single command. After that it is started and create a container and it started. This is what the container id e95 something like that. Now I'll go and check images is available, then I'll go and check docker ps -a. Yes, it is there. This is what the container, if you see E9FB17, this is what it is created, correct? Container it is created and it is running state. How can we come to know it is running state? When you have, when you are seeing up means running state. If it is created, then that is created state. That is created. If it is stopped, then that is stopped state. Okay. So PS or PS-A, whatever you run, it will you will see that. Why? Because container is currently running. Now I'll go and access this container on port number 8080. Definitely I'll see the output here. See, I just go and I just refresh it. Yes, I'm able to see the container. So this is what the this is how we can pull image and we create a container from that particular image, and we can delete and we can do everything. And by using this, whatever you can do, you can use persistent volume. Why? Because inside the container, if you change, if you do any changes or if you store anything, it will be temporarily, correct. Whenever your container goes down, every memory will go off. That is why if you want, you can add persistent volume, you can play around with networking, everything you can do that. Okay, but here we are not, we are going to do all those things inside the Kubernetes. We are not going to do in the container, raw container. Okay, but anyway, I would like to show you how can we log in into the container. So to log in into the container, I want to log in inside the container, correct? So inside the container only, my Nginx application is running. Nginx is the web application. Okay. So Docker docker exec -it. Then you have to give the container ID. If you give this something hyphen bash, actually here in Linux it is hyphen bash, but here how they are accessing. Okay, bin bash you have to give, not hyphen bash, /bin/bash. Because in Kubernetes, no, we will give hyphen space bash. Okay, anyway. So when you run docker exec-it, it is interactive mode. Exec means execute. You are just executing the command inside the container, and you are logging via bin bash shell. You know very well about shells. We have bash shells, we have CSH, we have SH, many shells we have, correct? So I want to log in this container with this particular shell. Now if you see, this one is my EC2 instance, but this one, this is my container. Currently I logged in inside my container. Okay, now if I see df-h, then these are the containers files I have. Okay, free-m if you type. Okay, free. See, I told you, no, the container have the minimum libraries and these files. For this particular Nginx, it doesn't want any free commands, so that is why it don't have any free command is not found. Okay, and I give uptime also not there. If I give date is there. Now you understand what is the containers and what is the virtual machines, correct? So what happened, this is the minimum library files, but if you want uptime, you can install this package, no problem. If you want free -m, that also, that related package, if you install it, will come. But to lightweight your container, see here 161 MB your container. To lightweight your container, whatever things which is used for this particular application, Nginx application, those packages only it will be available. Okay, now in your Nginx, normally where is the configuration file will be available? So vi vi slash var log. In that var log html, no, not var log, var where is the html file will be available here. I think it will be available usr share nginx html. Okay, so let me check whether systemctl command working. Systemctl command, okay. So in nginx that is a common location, okay, where your index.html will be available. That will be available inside cd slash usr usr share, okay, share slash nginx. Inside that you have file called html, okay. Vi or cat also we can say. That's I'll go with vi, okay. html vi will not work, I think. I'll go with cat. Okay, vi html. Let me check html. See, vi command also not there. If you want to install vi app get update, something we have to give. After that, whether vi will work. No, vi is not there. To install vi. Um, okay, anyway, I'll do one thing. I'll use cat command to find out what is there inside my HTML page. Correct? HTML. Okay, HTML is the directory. Let me go inside the HTML. cd HTML, and here you have index.html. So in the inside the index.html only your code will be written. Which code? HTML code. Your web service code will be written inside the HTML. Cat index.html. See here. If you see, this is what the HTML file. If you see, welcome to Nginx. Okay, this welcome to Nginx is nothing but here. If you go there, not this one. Okay, this one here they have written. See, welcome to Nginx. Correct, in the top. That is what they have written here, and color, blah blah, many things they have given. And if you come H1 in the body, they have given welcome to Nginx. This welcome to Nginx is written here. See, in the body, in the bold letter h1, okay, inside the body h1 they have used header 1. That is why it is showing in bold letter, welcome to nginx. After that they have written some paragraph. If you something like that, see here, if you blah 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 blah, many things, whatever you are seeing here, this is what it is reflecting. So whenever you are typing for 65 this public ip address, it will go to your ec2 instance. Then it will check on port number 8080. So we have declared, whenever we create a container, we declare that if anyone come on port number 8080, please forward that to containers port 80. That is what the meaning of -p 8080:80 we given, correct? So this public IP address will do it will take you to the server. After that, this port number 8080, it will take you inside the server which port. Then we already there binded this port 8080 to here port 80. Okay, so that is what it will do. And finally it will come here inside. It will come and read here inside that folder. Whatever you have, it will come and hit to this index.html, and whatever you are showing here, that only it will come here. Okay, now for change, what we will do the changes and we will check whether it is reflecting there correctly or not. Correct. So how can we do? You can use vi, but unfortunately here vi command is not there. We could install the vi also. Okay, so for that m install, I'm not sure m also working or not. M install vi, the m also it is not there. Sorry, app get install itself we can use. No, app get install vi. vi vim, I think that is not vi vim. See, okay, I'm able to install. Let me check whether vi index.html. Good. See, I'm able to install vi here. Instead of welcome to Nginx, what I will do, I will go on. I'll add something like this here. Press I insert mode. Hi, Saravanan. Just I added your name. Okay, I'll save it. So now the moment when I hit, what happened? It will go to the server. Port number 80. It will go 8080. Then it will change. It will redirect your hit or your request to containers port number 80. Inside the containers port number 80, you have this one. Say for example, inside the container, if you run this call command also not there. Huh? Call command is there. Okay, call, then localhost colon 80. If you type, see whatever you are getting, see here in the localhost 80 container, sorry, port number 80 only, this service is running. So whenever you are giving 80, your EC2 instance will redirect that to 80. Okay, now I'll just go and refresh it. See, the moment when I refresh, what it came? Hi, Saravan, welcome to Nginx. It came. What happened? It's going and reading the file which is available inside your container, and that file content it is showing here. This is where the web application team will work. Web application team will work on this folder only. Here, for sample, they have only one index.html, but web team have multiple files. Index.html is the main HTML file. They will have multiple different files, that is sub files. They have many mechanisms actually. Application team will create all those things, and finally they will redirect it to this particular directory. Whenever it is redirecting, it will go and read first index.html. So inside the index.html, they will call different website. So that is what whatever you are seeing, Flipkart, everything is there, correct? So whenever you hit, from here only, it is taking all those images, all those things. It is taking from here. Okay.